to the conversation. Today's topic is interesting.
Yes,
Excited?
very.
Welcome to the conversation. My name is Wambui Kirori.
And I'm Nancy Mombi.
We are here to talk about periods, period shame, the challenges we go through during our periods, and so much more about periods. Nancy, do you remember your first experience, your first day of your period?
Of course I do. Every woman remembers their first day of period. Unfortunately, I was a late bloomer, so I started my periods in campus. I didn't start my periods in high school like every other normal girl. So at this point in time, I didn't have anybody tell me about periods and cramps and all the symptoms that come with periods. So technically it was very difficult. I made a mistake of having soda that morning. Soda and cramps and periods
Are not friends.
not friends. So I had a full soda of about 500 ml, if I remember correctly. Then I went to lay down and I started experiencing pain, which I didn't know it was periods. So I cried out with a lot of pain. And nobody told me periods hurt that much.
Was there blood? It's just
No, it was cramps. There was no blood. It was just cramps. So what happened, after a few hours I was rushed to hospital because I didn't know. Though I wish the society would tell girls periods hurt, periods are painful, you need to relax. So my experience was bad. And I didn't have pads, by the way. So, and I
Did you
didn't,
expect? Were
No,
you
I
eager?
didn't.
Were you eager to get your periods?
not necessarily.
Interesting.
I didn't want to get periods either way. Who wants periods?
I used to want periods. My mom can tell you I wanted periods. I was like, my periods started in Form 1. Personally, they started in Form 1. So in primary, I was in boarding class 8. So everyone in our cube had periods. So I would feel like I don't fit in because I can see they're wearing pads, they're saying the way they are on their periods. I used to find like it's an interesting thing. I remember telling my mom, I want to start my periods. When my periods are not coming. What? Little did I know. It's a lifetime thing. So from 1 January, I not joined. January 9, I think it was January 9. I go to the washroom, my sports, your first period, the way it's sporting. I was like, wow, finally my periods are here. So my mom wasn't home. I waited for her, and the first thing I told her was, Mom, my periods are here. And I was very excited. And she was very worried because she knew now what is ahead of me. Because this is something, haitaifika time, I'm not having periods unless I'm pregnant. But now from here on, I'll be having the pain. But there are lucky people who don't get period pains.
But you see, that's the difference. Why are you having such a conversation with your mother about periods?
I was so excited. I used to feel out of place because everyone is saying, Sijui, my periods are coming on the 28th. Sijui, my periods are here. I used to think it's something very interesting they are talking about. Little did I know the pain I was going to endure, because trust me, my periods are painful.
What other experiences do you have when you're having your periods?
Bloating, the bloating that comes with periods, the mood swings that comes with periods. I get the mood swings. The cravings, there are cravings with periods. Periods comes with cravings, mad cravings. Like, even every time I have my periods and I'm having the cravings, I'm like, okay, what about pregnancy? Is it going to be intense?
It's not about pregnancy.
Yeah,
And the scares.
And the scares, but right now, as I've grown, but funny thing, in high school, I used to get my periods thrice a year, by the way. April, August, December. Mimi, first term, January to April, when we closed, I never used to have our periods. Like, you remember in our school, we used to be given shopping.
Yeah.
Whether we went to the same high school. That's why I think we relate so well. I never used to use my pad. So when we close in school, I used to pack all of them and take home. When we're coming back for the next time, I come with more, of which thinking I'm going to have my periods. But they used to only come when I go home, and I never used to have period pains by then. They used to come so calmly, 4 days, they are gone. But I remember on my first period, by then my periods came for a week, and they were painful. My first periods were painful. I remember taking medicine each and every day for 7 days. And remember I used the twin pack. You know, there are 16. I used to, my periods were heavy, they were painful. I sat down, I was like, okay, what is this I wanted to experience? And from there on, I hated periods. I hate periods. Every time I check my period tracker, nimeona 6 days to your periods, I start getting stressed.
What tracker do you use?
Flow. It's called Flow.
Flow.
It's a very, I've used it.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Yeah, it's very nice. It tells you the safe days and it's nice.
Yeah.
You guys should try it out if you haven't tried. So every time I see it's telling you 6 days to your period, by then I start getting stressed. Imagining on my day 3, my periods hurt day 3. I don't know why, because most people say it's day 1 and 2. Me, day 1 and 2, I'm okay. I take my Brufen and I'm good to go. Day 3, I roll on the floor because of pain. My mom is a witness. She knows my period journey. It has been so painful. Every time I tell her, Mom, I'm almost, my periods, she gets the same stress because I know. But at least I've come to learn something. When you improve your diet, your periods improve. Because I've been on a diet. It's not a diet, it's a diet. But and from then I can say from last month they were not that bad. Now considering I am working and I'm having those painful periods, your boss can't understand why you can't come to work because of cramps. But I remember I was working for a very good boss. He's called Charles. He used to work for a company called Timeline. Every time I would have my cramps, I would call him and I'm like, hey Charles, sitakudanganya, mimi ni cramps, sitafanya nisikuje kazi. And he's like, okay, take a break, you can come tomorrow. Nancy, do you have mood swings on your periods?
Of course, 1 week. 1 week to
1
the
week
period.
moods, or 1 week to the 1 week, not
1
during
week
the
to
period.
Not to the period. I get cranky. I'm so angry. And above all, don't irritate me. By the way, actually, funny enough, most of my breakups happen during my period time. Because I've come to understand men don't understand mood swings. They think we are pretending. They don't know what mood swings are. They think mood swings, quote unquote, ni kitu tumejiekelea. What they don't know, you can't control mood swings. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do you experience mood swings?
Yeah, but during my period, that week, those 5 days, I'm so moody. I think my mom gets everything from me because I stay a lot with her. I get annoyed very easily, as in something so small can irritate me. I hate conversations by then. I think also my breakups, they happen that period.
Of course.
Because
I don't know.
something so small can make me argue a lot. And then you get someone, hataki understand, like, I'm experiencing this much pain.
Actually, not argue a lot. Mood swings, period mood swings. You only want to pick up arguments.
Exactly.
You want to fight.
And you want to be listened to.
Yes, you want to fight and you want your points to be heard. And actually you don't have a point at the end of the day. So I don't know, period mood swings are very annoying. And most importantly, I don't know, when as women grow up, but growing up is from the age of 24, 25, you start understanding your body, you start knowing these are mood swings. Now you can tell it's a mood swing. And I personally take a step back. I know this week I'll have mood swings, so I need to stay alone.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when I was younger and stupid, but I'm not going to say my age. When I was younger and stupid, I used to fight and argue with everyone, absolutely everyone.
I understand you. But funny thing, I had a very understanding boyfriend. My last relationship, he was so understanding. On the first day of my periods, he would even notice our conversation. He's like, hey, when you're rolling, I'm like, yeah. From then, he gives me space nicely. He's like, okay, I understand you. You're cranking. I know it's your period. He used to be very understanding.
You said your last boyfriend?
Yeah.
His number?
Nipate DM.
Just
But he's a
saying.
very nice guy. I would recommend him.
Just saying.
But I would recommend him wherever you are. I can recommend you somewhere. He was a nice guy.
Talk to me, young man.
Topic for another day.
Uh-huh.
But he used to understand my periods. As in, he ana flow, anajua today she's feeling moody. I don't want to pick conversations with her because she might end up getting annoyed at very simple things. Yeah, I don't miss the relationship, but I wish my next man understands my periods.
Are you sure there's no next man? Anyway, out of topic. Periods.
Regular, am I irregular?
Regular. Any day, any time.
But I had a problem. High school, I had a problem. My periods for the longest time have been irregular. But with time, campus, when I went to campus, no, Form 3, it started in Form 3. Maybe they have had a vast experience with periods. Form 3, show. You remember they used to be chosen by Mr. Weru? You remember Mr. Weru? So we're going for show. Kapiroine. We're on my period. I'm on my period. So it was me and 3 of my friends. You know, I think when you stay together, your periods come within the same time.
Synchronize.
Yeah. So you don't want to miss show because you know shows were the best funkies of our school.
The 8th thing.
Yeah. So we are cramping. I remember we used to go on Friday. On Thursday we are cramping. You remember Anapule Chop, Pule Ju? We used to go and sleep there break time because of the cramps. So we are there, tomorrow is show. I'm like, okay, I know it's going to be a hard day, but I need to attend that show. You know, I wore 2 pads, like back to back, one over each side and this other side. So, tukiuko, it started leaking. So I go to the washroom and I'm like, okay, so what's going to happen? I haven't even had, but then I was so moody. I was like, I wish I even remained in school. But I don't think from then on they started kidogo being regular. Campus, they've been regular. Up to now they're still regular, but change of climate affects periods.
Yeah.
Because the transition like from Nyeri to Nairobi affected my periods. Now again the transition from Nairobi to Nyeri has affected my periods, of which they are regular. I would say they are regular in a nice way. Flow has helped us.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Mine has been clockwork. 1 to 28 days, they are here.
Yeah.
But if they're not here, honey.
What's a regular period by there?
It's clockwork. There are those who go for 27 days, 28 days. So you know after 28 days you're going to have the next period. It's clockwork.
Do you know mine is 30 days?
30 days, you see? It's clockwork.
Yeah.
But others are irregular. You can have 2 periods in 1 month.
Have you experienced that? Because I've never experienced that way.
Yes, I have. But let's just say... yes.
Let's just say.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
But because of other factors,
Yeah,
I used pills and everything. Whatever pills I used.
Yeah. I hear it affects.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I think I'd like to experience 2 periods now.
No, it's not a good experience.
It's not a good experience?
No. You know you're done with your period now. Let's say like today you're done. Then you take a break for 1 week. Then you experience another period. That doesn't mean the following month you don't have a period. You still have a period the following month.
I wish there was I wish there's a way you'd have like 4 periods in a month. And like for the next 4 periods, you don't have your period.
Impossible, but you know, funny enough, you remember that lady who used to have, I won't mention names, who used to have periods every month, each month in high school. She used to have periods every other day.
I don't remember.
Okay, I'll tell you the name. She used to have periods from January to December. Every day. And when she's not having a period, it's probably a day or 2 days without a period. The rest of the days she has periods. And she seeks medical attention from all hospitals. It was hormonal imbalance or something. I don't know if it was rectified. No, she didn't have cramps. She used to have just periods, day in, day out.
That's sad.
Oh no, I don't know if it was rectified, but the last time I checked, she couldn't even date.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to date with periods every other day? Yeah, but anyway, it happens. It happens, and it wasn't 1 case; it was 2 cases. So I think it happens.
So sorry. Period shame. Have you experienced period shame?
Not really. The only period shame I've experienced, I can't call it shame. I think it's just me who didn't speak out. I was afraid to talk about my periods. At least you're very open with your mom. I wasn't open then. Now we are open. I had my periods, but I didn't tell her I don't have sanitary towels. So
Was it that you were scared?
yes, I was scared.
Or ashamed?
It's like a taboo. I was ashamed to talk about periods.
I don't know why society makes period talk like seem like a taboo.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you're not supposed to talk about your period.
Yeah, you're not supposed to talk about your periods. I grew up knowing I'm not supposed to talk about my periods. So I didn't have sanitary towels and I didn't have money. Of course, I wasn't working. So I couldn't afford sanitary towels. I only had 2 pieces remaining. So what I used to do, day one, I used one of the pieces. I used it for 2 days. Lucky for me, it only goes for 3 days. So the other piece,
3 days?
only 3 days.
How do you feel?
I'm the favorite kid.
God, yeah.
God's favorite.
Yeah, I know. I have periods
3
for
days.
5 days.
3 days. God's favorite.
3 days.
Three
Like 1,
days.
2, 3.
Day 1, day 2, day 3. I'm done.
Day 3, it's like I'm starting. I'm
Day
jealous.
3, I'm out here saying, oh, okay. There are periods. Okay. Have a good one.
I'm jealous.
Safe journey. Don't be.
Oh God.
Because safe journey. Bye. Thank you very much for visiting.
Well, yeah, day 3, it's like I'm even starting.
Yeah, so technically I used that pad for over, I don't know, 8 hours. You're not supposed to use
yeah.
a pad more than 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Maximum 4 hours. You're
Yeah,
not supposed
yeah.
to go beyond 4 hours. So it was smelly. It's that guy, it's very smelly.
Yeah.
We're not going to discuss about the smell.
I know.
It was very smelly, it was very irritating, and I got sores. Because now it's burning, there's friction. So that's, I don't know if to call it period shame, but since then I now know how to talk about periods, and maybe I advise mothers to talk to their daughters
Yeah, exactly.
a lot about
I think
periods.
that's a topic I'm going to sit down with my daughter
Yeah.
and talk to her about periods. Because I'm so open talking about periods. I would talk to people about periods without shame.
There's no shame.
Without
about
shame,
periods.
because I want people to know. And I think that's how I came to think about Girls for Girls. Because I used to stay, where I used to stay, you see these stories about boda boda guys, minis, they are sleeping with young girls. Young girls are sleeping with boda boda guys to get money for periods. That story is true.
For pads.
Yeah, I've heard it from a source. And from then, by then that thing made me so emotional. It was a young girl speaking, even too randomly. I used to stay near Kibera, by the way. If you people know where our campo is, it's there near Kibera. Plus I used to stay an estate that is near Kibera. So when we're going for cheaper stuff like shoes, nini, for going to school, we used to go there inside Kibera, but it's not Kibera, but Nika entrance. So I met a girl and she was so depressed. She was like changaing for pads. She told me ati nataka unipe 20 bob niende nikanunue pad. I'm like 20 bob. Kwani kuna pad inatokanga 20 bob? Nikienda kwa shop nitatolewa moja niziwe 20 bob. I gave her 100 bob because that is what I gave. Kaambia usende ununue hiyo 20 bob. Go buy a whole pack. From then I was like, okay, I am affording good pads. And somebody else is asking for 20 bob to go and buy a pad. A piece of pad. And I'm asking my periods, using my periods, they come for 5 days. Atatumia pads, ngapi your 5 days. I felt so devastated. But then I shared. I asked God, as in, how comes I'm privileged to have packets of pads? Because I used to stock pads. I'm like, I remembered I have so many pads in the house. And yet somebody else is struggling for a pad. That is how Girls for Girls was born. And I was like, man, if God blesses me, I'm going to make sure girls get pads. Like, you have enough supply of pads. Because, period is not a choice. If it was a choice, me, I would choose never to have periods.
That's the same way I keep saying. And I've heard a lot of people say as much. You would rather pads are free, but condoms are not.
Yeah.
But right now in our society, condoms are free,
yeah.
pads are expensive.
Because everybody, because sex is a choice.
Yeah, sex is a choice.
Periods are not.
Yeah.
And it's very hurting to see young girls. Even that story of where girls used to sit on sand because they can't afford pads. Really, it broke my heart. And the girl who killed herself, who committed suicide after she was shamed because she messed on her dress, and the teacher was like, "Hey, you go home." And she felt, I think people in her class ridiculed her. I don't know what happened.
Something of the sort.
But it was so painful.
This period episode is proudly sponsored by Girl for Girls, which is an initiative that Linda will explain to us what it is all about. But this organization for sure is situated in Nyeri County. So she'll give us the details and the organization, what it does and where it's located.
So I've given you a story of how I came up with Girl for Girls. It's girl, no me girl, and for girls, like for the rest of the girls. I was inspired by 30 young girls from Kibera. Basically, Girls for Girls is aiming at helping young girls to get pads. You know, pads is something you can't live without as long as you're a girl, I'm a woman, unless you're pregnant. But you know, after the pregnancy, bado utarudi hapo. So I saw like I need to fill in that gap where not every girl is privileged to have pads. Because us, I'm so sure you don't lack pads. Yeah, I'm so sure you don't lack pads because you can afford.
Actually, get a brand that goes for 400 shillings.
You see, you can afford. Not everyone is privileged to afford pads. So I want to fill in that gap, to try and fill in that gap. It's a wide gap, but we are going to try. I don't want to say I because I have people on board. Okay, yeah, I'm the CEO, but we have one of our director here, and I have three more directors. We are going to introduce them as time goes by. I'm planning on launching very soon, very soon. I don't know how to do it, but I'm trusting in God to do it. And since I have visionary people as my directors, I know they are going to help. And sponsors, I'm also looking for sponsors. Now this is where I agree I want sponsors. Not sponsors my nails and hair and what. Sponsors to sponsor this. We were lucky enough to get sponsored by someone last year, but didn't go through. But COVID. Yeah, because of COVID. And COVID manze imebeba relationships, imebeba projects, imebeba vitu mingi. But we got a very good sponsor. She was willing to help us, and I know we can approach her again. So by August latest, I'm thinking by August we should be launching.
Yes, and we start visiting schools in the area, which is Nyeri County.
Yeah, again. We should be launching. So get your dinner dresses ready, your suits ready. We plan for a gala, so get your suits ready and your heels. But your heels. Get your heels ready. Yeah, we plan on launching very soon, very soon. It's on my bucket list #1 because it's a project that's in my heart. And I'm trusting in God. He's the only person I'm trusting in to do this. And sponsors, please sponsor. Pads company, individuals, corporates, please sponsor us. Please. Yeah, we'll be so happy to see girls smile because they can comfortably go to school. Yeah, so help us put a smile on girls' face. Yeah, karibuni sponsors. Hiyo part ya sponsors nina emphasize sana. Karibuni. Yeah, we will be so willing to work with you. And I'm also planning to bring the rest of directors on board. Yeah.
Till the next conversation. Bye.
Yeah, bye.